is like my worst T-shirt, so I thought it was appropriate to wear for this, because um, I'm having a really hard time um, just sort of containing myself. I feel really like sort of enraged, but like for no logical reason. And a bunch of times today, I've gotten into, like, I would say verbal, but it's been more like yelling matches with a number of complete strangers over stupid shit that, in retrospect, probably was my fault. And I don't know. I did get some sleep last night. Shut up, you fucking clock. Oh no, wait, that was my text. Never mind. What was I gonna say? I took like a shitload of meds last night just so I could get some sleep, and it worked. I did sleep, but I was up again by 4:30, 5 o'clock, but at least I got a few hours. I think if I wasn't so much pain for my back. Oh, side note, I have a bunch of herniated discs in my back, sciatica, all kinds of crap, and it hurts. But there's last couple of weeks have been a really bad flare up. But if it wasn't for that, I'd be, like pacing all over the place, and if it wasn't close to 100 degrees outside, I'd be running around outdoors. But unfortunately, both those things are the case, and I'm stuck inside, making stupid videos that nobody's ever going to watch. I'm sorry. This is just, it's frustrating. I don't. Usually, I feel like I don't have a lot of trouble getting my point across, but it's amazing. The second you flick that camera on, any last trace of the ability to articulate just leaves me. I mean, I imagine my comprehension levels go down as well. Or, in other words, camera makes stupid. At least in my case. Doesn't matter. I mean, the only person who's watching these movies is me, and that's just to, cringe. I mean, everything I've described so far sounds like symptoms of incipient mania, but at the same time, there's this sort of nagging dysphoria that to me, like, is a red flag with the text mixed episode on it planted firmly in the middle of my back. By the way, yeah, I know I look like shit. Fuck you. I don't care. Yeah, that's pretty impressive that I could do that with a cast. Let me try it again. Fuck you. YouTube. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all, but I've discovered that saying that can diffuse situations sometimes. Actual, meaning or intent or whatever doesn't really matter. I mean, sorry, I'm gonna do it again. Oh, god damn it. Hello? Who? Oh, hi, Jay. Hi, Jay. What? No, not even close. Wrong number. Because, I get, like, I don't know, what, a few calls a day, and, like, two are from my parents, and the others usually, somebody trying to either sell me something or tell me that I owe them money, or both at the same time, in the, case of cellular phone companies. When I started out making these videos, I really intended for this to be more like, educational and teach people about bipolar. But you know what? Fuck that. You want to learn about bipolar? It's called Google. You know? And you want to see what bipolar looks like? It doesn't look good. Nobody looks good when they're really bipolar, at least in the throes of the manifestations of the pathology of bipolar. I mean, these videos with these people who are perfectly made up and, without a hair out of place, and they're claiming they're in the midst of a psychotic episode, it's starting to really piss me off. I mean, come on. This isn't mental illness. Mental illness is ugly. It's the kind of thing you look away from because you feel embarrassed for the person you're looking at, and you're scared because, like, it's frightening, like, seeing somebody that in that much pain and that out of control, and to actually be that person. I mean, to pretend that I can explain what that's like is just bullshit. There's no way I can explain what that's like. There's no way, if you're not bipolar, if you don't have any mental illness, that you could even begin to understand, because no matter how many times you read the diagnostic criteria, or, this is for you doctors out there, talk to patients who describe their symptoms or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, because, like, it's like, an amputee trying to describe what it feels like not to have a leg. You don't have a leg, you can't know what it feels like not to have it. Or somebody black guy trying to describe to, a white guy how it felt growing up, black in a racist area. I mean, it's just, these two things, it's sort of an experiential wormhole. I mean, you can't really empathize because you don't have any, I guess you don't have, the only way to truly empathize is to sort of, borrow an emotional state of your own and sort of use that and mold that into what you think from observation and such, that, to create a semblance of the, how you think the, bipolar person's feeling. But it's all really just it's like when people equate, you know, grief with and minor grief too. Grief because, like, your great uncle died, with major depression. They're incongruous. It doesn't work. And to describe 9 out of 10 people you describe mania to say, "Wow, that sounds fantastic. Wow, I wish I could feel like that." Are you kidding? Do you know what it feels like for your head to be like a war zone where every tiny iota of sensory input, whether it's stuff coming in from your eyes or your ears or tactile or olfactory or whatever, it's all this constant barrage of information and stuff you don't want, and stuff that's intrusive and loud and clingy, and this cacophony of just unwanted noise, and it just goes on and on and on, and you think it's so great. You have all these ideas, and well, that's great, So you have all these ideas, but they're going so fast you can't even get them down on paper. And if you get as far as actually starting one of them, you only last about 5 minutes before something else distracts you and you run off to do that. And then in the end, like, you're just so wrapped up in the hallucinatory crap your brain is puking out that you can't even focus on, basic human behavior anymore. You can't modify yourself, and that's when you do the things that get you put into restraints, or take off all your clothes and start running around, and it's the stuff that when you think about it later, you just want to shoot yourself. I mean, the one constant in my life with bipolar is that bipolar is embarrassing. I mean, try explaining to someone that the reason you can't have a male therapist or doctor is because when you start to get manic, you get so hypersexual that, like, you can't be around a guy without, like, wanting to pounce on him. And, like, that's a really creepy way to think about your doctor or your therapist or whatever, Shit like that, that's small potatoes. I mean, it gets worse. And the worst part is that you get inured to that. You get so used to feeling like, you're just not a normal member of the human race, and you're not going to be treated as such. You come to expect, people treating you like there's something really wrong with you, and it might be contagious, and or just damaging to be around, which maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, I know it's certainly not fun to be around. Every friend I've ever had and every family member I've ever spoken to has told me that when I'm in the throes of either depression or mania, I'm like the most unappealing person in the world. I mean, there's nothing more depressing than depression. And depression really is contagious, and mania even to some degree. I mean, fuck. This is dumb. This is pointless. And so's everything. Fuck this.